Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. Listen, I want to talk about changing things that you can't control that are outside of your control in business. And before you assume what that means, the simple answer is this: you can't. But we often try to, and we spend most of our focus and our energy trying to change things that we can't control. Now, hear me out. There is a way to change things that you can't control, but you have no power over doing that. Other people, when they're involved, are the ones that can only change what they can control, and you can only control yourself and where your focus is. Yet, when people go into business or they're trying to do something they've never done before, they rely on the comfort zone of control. And when they feel out of control, they feel fearful and worried. And maybe you might say, well, no, I don't fear that. I know that I can't control things. I just want to know how to do it. The knowing how to do something is your area of needing to control things, because you need to control the knowledge that you know. And oftentimes people get stuck in this place. Or maybe I need to make sure that I have a certain amount of income before I can do something, or a certain resource, or a certain accolade, or approval, or whatever your area is, things that are outside of your control. We waste energy trying to change those things. The way to change things that are outside of your control is to stop trying, to let it go, to trust the process, to trust that when you let it go, that it will work itself out. Now, there's fear involved with that. Well, if I can't control it, I don't know what's going to happen. That's perfect. You actually didn't need to know because you couldn't control it in the first place. And that need to know is, again, a comfort zone that you're relying on. And you're using that as an excuse for why you can't go from step 1 to step 2 to step 3 to step 4 and spinning in a hamster wheel. And I see this so often in my own life, in people that I coach. I work with multimillionaires that deal with this exact thing, where they will not move forward to the thing that will break them to the next level. $10 million, $100 million, because they are trying to change things that are outside of their control. And this area permeates our culture because we believe that at some point we will figure out or get to a place where we can control things. The only way that you are going to get there to where you can, let's say you have the resources to command people to do things, whatever, employees. But you're not there yet. The way that you are going to get there is not by waiting until you're there. It's by doing what you have ownership over right now, taking ownership over your choices, and letting the parts that you can't control go. Stop worrying about them. Give it up. Pray. Say, God, I can't control this. You need to realize that there is a spiritual realm outside of your control. But when we're relying on just what we understand to control things, we are saying that the spirit realm is stupid and weak in that area. And it needs to just stay over in its little area. We are essentially telling that I don't trust God in this area. I don't trust. In fact, God, you're dumb, sucky, and stupid and weak. I got this, so I'm going to try to control this. You stay there in your little box where I'm comfortable with you. And that is what us trying to control things that we can't change equates to. Instead of saying, God, thank you. I know that you've been waiting to take this off of my hands. In fact, this wasn't my burden to carry in the first place. So I release it, I give it up, I do not need to control this, and I am going to trust the process that it will work out for the good in the end. And yet I still talk to people that say that they rely on God and trust in God and can't do that. It is impossible for them because of their fear that is greater than their faith. Their fear in what might happen or could happen, or the comfort zone of how they feel when they can control things. And it is hurting them. It is hurting their chances of going after the destiny and the plans that God has for them. They are choosing to say, God, get out of here. I got this. Because of their need to try to change things they can't control. And they will stay stuck right where they are until they let it go. And so I want to encourage you right now. Maybe you might not say those things or think that you do, but your spirit, when you are trying to control things that you can't change, is projecting that out there as a prayer. Well, I can't do this. Well, I can't do that. Well, I just can't do that. Okay, great. That's your prayer. Are you going to accept that to be your prayer? That you're weak, sick, you have too many kids around you, you don't have enough money, that you need to know everything before you can get started? Or are you going to say, you know what? I'm going to trust the process. I'm going to trust that I don't need everything perfect before I move forward. I'm going to trust that, oh, this person that mistreated me, it's not my job to make sure that they don't do it again. And I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it go trying to make another person do what I want to do so that I feel safe and comfortable. We believe that we can change what we can't control because we believe two things. Other people can control us, and we can control other people. And we have to get rid of this belief entirely. It is not true. And you might say, well, yeah, you put a gun to somebody's head, you tie them up, over a cliff. I can control somebody to do anything. That's an extreme, okay? You're actually not controlling them. That is fear that is doing that. And you living in a state of fear, you are using fear to manifest your goals if you believe that you can control things that you can't change and you're not willing to give it up because there's a fear of the risk that's involved of what might happen if I let go of this. A fear of I might get hurt again if I let go of this. They might do that again if I don't control this. And that's not your job to worry about. That was never your job in the first place. And so it's time to let it go. Release that need to control things entirely. Let it go. Trust the process. Put one foot in front of the other. And if you're believing something that is telling you that you need to control things around you to be safe, I'm going to tell you that that's one of the biggest lies that is keeping you right where you are right now. And it's time to replace that lie and realize you do not have control over the things that you can't change. That there are forces around you, principalities, powers, and spirits that are all around us that are far more powerful than you. So stop thinking that you're that powerful and that important. And let it go. Trust the process. Trust that the best thing is happening. Detach yourself from outcomes and expectations. Your identity is not tied to what you do, what happens, or what you expect. Trust that whatever happens is the best thing for you in that moment. Find joy in every situation. Don't say I can only be joyful and happy when I get there, when they stop acting that way, when I make enough money, when I can do this. Joy is a choice. Happiness is a choice. And your power is going to come from joy, you being a light in a dark place. You don't need to put out the darkness. You just need to shine brighter and be yourself and control yourself. You cannot control you. Nobody can control you. Nobody can even try to control you. In fact, unless you explicitly give them power because you want them to. Nobody can try to control you. They can try. The only way that they have the ability to is because you have chosen, I want you to do this to me. That's it. Let it go and stop trying to control things that you can't change. Trust God and keep moving forward. Grow your life, everybody, and we'll talk soon.